How's it going today, guys? Looks like it's just me today. We're gonna get into some of the news that we got going on today. I've got a few stories pulled up that we're gonna get into. Uh, Going forward, I am going to look into how I can get call-ins ready for the show. I want people to be able to call in and interact besides just the chat. So I will be looking into how to do that. I would do it through Rumble Studio, but I can't manage people's cameras and I can't trust random people to behave themselves on camera. It's one thing to have their voice on live. It's another thing to have them physically on camera on live. I can't trust random people to do that. So I am going to be looking into how to do that for future videos. You'll likely see something like that next week, and I'll have it in the description down below. And then you can call into the show to yell at me or add something to a story that I missed, or whatever we got going on. But we have a few news stories to get into. The first one I wanted to talk about was the Tim Walz situation that we got going on. So let me go ahead and pull this up on X right here. So Tim Walz is getting into a little bit of a little heat over here because Walz talks with Canada. Legal concerns emerge. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has reportedly initiated discussions with Canadian Premier Doug Ford and Wab Kinew about navigating the U.S.-Canada trade war exacerbated by Trump's tariffs on Canada. This move has sparked debate regarding its compliance with the Logan Act, a law prohibiting unauthorized negotiations by private citizens with foreign governments. The discussion aimed to protect economic ties that contribute significantly to both regions' economies, with some posts suggesting that Walt's actions might be seen as an attempt to circumvent federal policies. So then we have this tweet from Governor Tim Walz himself. I called the Canadian premiers Doug Ford and Wab Kinew today as we tried to find a way through this unnecessary and costly trade war. While the president may not value the partnerships that contribute to billions of dollars to our economy, Minnesota does. So a lot of people are pointing out that this could, in fact, be a violation of the Logan Act, which I think someone had posted somewhere around here. It's probably in his comments. But basically, what it said, wrong post. Basically, what it said was that a citizen cannot make deals with. Here it is. So what is the Logan Act in simple terms? This is from an AI. I don't know which AI this is. Might be Grok. I'm not sure. No, I don't think it's Grok. Might be ChatGPT. It makes it illegal for U.S. citizens to correspond with foreign governments without authorizations from the U.S. government. He is a part of the U.S. government. He's a governor of a state. So I'm not really sure how to interpret this. It's intended to prevent unauthorized interference. I said that wrong. In disputes between the U.S. and foreign governments, it's illegal to use unauthorized diplomacy to influence foreign governments or to undermine U.S. interest. So he could be in violation of that third section there. Because if the federal government says that they're going to do something and then a state comes out and is like, hey, yeah, let's just ignore that, that could definitely be looked at as violating the law. So I'm interested to see exactly what'll happen here because he doesn't really specify what he intends to do by contacting these people. He just says that he wants to try and find a way through this unnecessary and costly trade war. So I don't know what he means by that. I would be interested for him to elaborate a little bit more. But as far as what you can infer from this, it kind of seems like he's trying to get around the tariffs and stuff that Trump is imposing on Canada. And if you don't know about the tariffs, basically Canada just isn't doing their part. They tariff us a lot more than we've tariffed them over the years, and Trump's just trying to get a fair deal. But I don't really know what Tim Walz is doing. I guess he's just trying to stay relevant at this point. Which can you really blame him? Can you really blame him trying to stay relevant? Um, oh, reading my buddy's chat. Little not relevant. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I turned on today. If you chat, it'll pop up in the top right. I'll have it. Over here. I'll have it over here, so the everyone else can see your chat. Um, but we'll see how that works for YouTube. YouTube might not like some of the things you guys say, but that's okay with me. YouTube is kind of lame anyway. I like Rumble a lot more. If I can get bigger on Rumble, hit that follow button on Rumble. I think last I checked, I was at 23. I got a lot more on YouTube, but YouTube just isn't where it's at. So, if you want to support what I'm doing, follow me on Rumble for sure. If you're watching on YouTube, go over to Rumble, please. Rumble is better. But I mean, I know the layout's not better, but in terms of free speech, definitely better. But am I still projecting? I am still projecting this one. So let me go. Oh, did I even pull it up? No, I guess I didn't have it pulled up. That's fine. It's not very important. Tim Walz is not that important. Uh, let's see. Let me pull up this next story. People will be interested in this next story. Let me see. I have too many friggin' windows pulled up. There it is. Okay. So we have this from the New York Post. Hunter Biden says his art sales plunged since dad left the White House, bemoans LA wildfires as he claims he's broke in bombshell legal filing. So, I mean, is anyone really surprised that once his dad is out of political office, he no longer is getting paid for his crappy art or being paid to go speak at events and stuff like that? Like, does anyone really care what Hunter Biden has to say about literally anything? Like, I'd be curious to find out what events he was at previously. Like, who was paying him to go speak at events previously? And a lot of people point out that the only people that were paying him to speak at events were people that were trying to get access to his father because his father was president at the time. So does anyone actually care what Hunter Biden has to say? No, not really. Or not even not really, just literally no. But he was in a legal battle with the people responsible for putting out the Hunter Biden laptop, which I mean, we all know at this point that the laptop is real. We know that Hunter Biden's a drug addict, which I do feel for him in that regard. But he's also the son of the president, and it just doesn't look good. Plus, all the controversy with Burisma and his legal dealings in Ukraine. A lot of people just don't like him. Hunter Biden says he's just a starving artist now that his dad's not in the White House anymore. The first son, claimed he's millions of dollars in debt. I wonder where all that money went. Like he probably made a ton of money from all those Ukraine deals with China. He was selling art for ridiculous amounts of money. Where did that money go? Like I know he's a drug addict, and I know he's been in court trying to litigate the cases for his laptop and stuff like that. But like actually, like literally, where did his money go? Someone can Doge audit Hunter Biden or no, because he's not a part of the government. But maybe the IRS, maybe the IRS should audit him. That'd be interesting. As much as I don't like the IRS, the former first son claimed he's $1 million in debt. Blah blah blah. The Los Angeles wildfires, in a bombshell legal filing in which he had asked a federal judge to drop the laptop hacking lawsuit he slapped on a former Trump White House aide. The embattled former first son, who is 55, said he has managed to sell just one piece of art. His catalog is mostly colorful abstract paintings that have been compared to hotel art since December 2023. He raked in nearly $1.5 million during his dad, Joe Biden's campaign and the early years of his administration. In the 2 to 3 years prior to December 2023, I sold 27 pieces of art at an average price of $54,000. That's ridiculous. Do people actually buy art for that amount anymore? I guess rich people do, but like is it really worth it? Especially from Hunter Biden. Like you're buying art from a drug addict. Like, oh yeah, he's the son of the president, but do you really want his paintings? And then he has some other paintings that I'm not going to mention because we're on YouTube, but some quite disgusting art that people have shared in his personal collection. That's all I'll say. If I was Rumble only, I would say it, but YouTube. Since then, I only sold one piece of art for $36,000. Hunter Biden's attorney said as they laid bare his apparent financial woes. So, since his dad has been, kicked out of office, essentially, he's only sold one piece of art, and it only sold for $36,000. Which, oh no, you might actually have to go get an actual job now. Boo hoo! I feel so terrible for this drug addict that has been corrupt for years. Who knows what else he's done? I mean, that pardon he received from his father could have been tied to many things, and I've brought this up before. The way that preemptive pardon worked, like he literally could have murdered someone, and it's covered in that pardon. We just don't know. Let's see. If you anticipate art to retain its value, it can be a good way to store wealth. Yes, I have seen that, which is a good point. But I'm not gonna read that other message, but yes, I agree with the sentiment there. But yeah, no, I do know that rich people they buy art to retain value. But is there any value being retained from a art piece by Hunter Biden? I don't know about that. Like, is there actually any value in that? Lawyers also noted that sales of his 2021 memoir, Beautiful Things, also plunged from 3,200 copies over 6 months in mid 2023 to just 1,100 copies in the following 6 months. Do you know anyone that has read a book by Hunter Biden? Like, who's buying these books? Who's the 3,200 people? Like, who bought his books? Like, what even is his book about? Beautiful Things. Um, maybe I'll read it if it comes out that he like wrote it while he was high on something. Like, it might be interesting in that regard. But other than that, like, is anyone actually buying his books? Yeah, probably not. It's probably just like some third party company that's like, yeah, just buy up all the books and incinerate them just to give them the money. No one's actually reading these, probably. Given the positive feedback and reviews of my artwork and memoir, I was expecting to be paid speaking engagements and paid appearances. I was expecting to obtain paid speaking engagements and paid appearances, but that has not happened. Again, who's going to pay Hunter Biden to go and speak at an event? What events would he speak at? Can anyone tell me what events he'd speak at? Like, I don't know, maybe he'd be paid to go speak at a school to talk about why drugs are bad, and then he'd take a line of coke or something. Like, what events is he going to speak to? I have no idea. Does anyone know what his book is actually about? Can someone leave that in the comments or the chat? Like, what is his book actually about? I didn't. I should have pulled that up. I should have pulled up like what his book is actually about. But Biden, who got a sweeping pardon, I'm assuming they mean Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, who got a sweeping pardon from Joe in the waning days of his father's administration, is self taught and started painting while in recovery from drug addiction. Funny you say recovery, because I'm pretty sure he's not in recovery. I'm pretty sure he's still doing drugs. If he's millions of dollars in debt, and I'm pretty sure that Coke that they found in the White House, oh, but they never found who actually had it, pretty sure that was Hunter Biden. He's the only person that was in the White House at the time who's a known drug addict. But of course, he doesn't face any consequences for that. And he was pardoned. He was pardoned. And so even if it was him, he was pardoned for it. So who cares? Who cares at this point? Uh, and then this is just his legal filing, basically saying he can't afford to go on with the litigation. Which, like, what are you litigating against anyway? He's alleging that they hacked his iCloud account, but is it really a hack if you leave your laptop behind and it's just freely accessible, and then you have all your passwords on it? Like, is that? I mean, I guess that's considered a hack because that is how most hacks actually happen. Uh, I'm here trying to assemble this effing couch. Hell yeah, assemble that couch, man. But it was a personal account of his struggles with addiction and the loss of his brother and other life events. I mean, that might be a little bit interesting, just his struggles with addiction, but he's still struggling. So I don't know. Maybe it's an interesting book. I don't really know. I've never read it personally. But again, who's buying his book? There's so many other books that you could read other than a Hunter Biden book. But all the financial hardship is preventing from litigating the case against Garrett Ziegler, according to motion filed by the federal court in California on Wednesday. I did want to make a point. Most hacks isn't just like going into computer code and stuff like that, and then like figuring out what their passwords are and stuff like that. It's literally just like, oh, you found someone's password and you have their account information. But like that's usually how a hack actually happens. It's like they obtain your information through whatever means. It's not usually like like computer experts going in and hacking the code and stuff like that, like you see in movies. So like I guess this is considered a hack. But if you leave, like if I left my phone unlocked on a park bench and then someone gained access to it and like had all my stuff on it, like is there any argument I can make to be like, "Hey, that's not okay." Well, I don't know. You left your phone out in the open. Like, yeah, is it morally wrong? Yeah, it's morally wrong. But like, did they actually do anything wrong? Especially if they uncover a bunch of crimes that you committed. I don't know. Uh, that's just how I feel about it. While I was aware that my financial position had significantly deteriorated over time, it was not until the past month that I realized I had to take drastic actions to alleviate the situation. A trove of his artwork that were in storage near the Pacific Palisades home of Hunter's Hollywood attorney, Kevin Morris, were destroyed in the blaze, a source told the Post at the time. His attorneys added that Hunter had suffered a significant downturn in his income and has significant debt in the millions of dollar range. So I don't know, like, can't you insure your artwork? Like, is he actually like, is there actually any loss of value that isn't insured by these paintings? Or like, is he covered in some way? Because I feel like you can insure paintings. Like, that's kind of the point, right? So I don't know. Maybe they burned him on purpose to get the insurance money if he did have insurance on him, right? That's it. Hunter Biden confirmed he started the fires in the Palisades. Joking, of course. Hunter first filed the suit against Ziegler back in 2023 for allegedly illegally accessing and circulating the embarrassing contents of his infamous laptop on Ziegler's right-wing nonprofit website Marco Polo. Ziegler, who worked as an aide for President Trump's trade advisor Peter Navarro during the last administration, has published much of Hunter's laptop data on his site in the years since the Post first exposed the device in 2020. And remember, they told us that this laptop was Russian propaganda. They said that it wasn't real, that it was fake, and that the contents of it were blown out of proportion. I don't know. I mean, if you look at the stuff that has been uncovered by his laptop, Hunter Biden should definitely be in prison for half the stuff on that laptop, if not more. Just from what I've seen, I haven't looked into it too heavily, just because a lot of it's just disgusting. But I mean, there's some pictures here. Here's him drugged out in the bathtub. But in the wake of Hunter's latest motion, Ziegler hit back, telling the Post in a blistering statement that that the ex first son's cash pool was drying up now that his dad wasn't in the White House. I mean, yeah, like I said, that was totally predictable. The only reason he was getting money for anything was basically because his dad was president. Now that his dad is out of politics, essentially, I mean, do you really think he's going to run for anything else? I don't think so. I hope he doesn't. Like, his brain is just not there. Please don't run for anything. Biden, just go sit on the beach, go enjoy your ice cream. I hope you live, well past 100, but your brain is mush, and I just want you to enjoy the last of your days. I don't wish any ill will upon Joe Biden as much as he damaged the country over the last 4 years. I just want him to go away, fade into retirement. But this is the statement from Ziegler. Hunter wants to cry uncle. We are opposing that. We want our attorneys' fees to be paid, for Hunter to cease lying about us and me, and just generally shut the F up, Ziegler said. This is an abuse of the legal system. It can't stand. Our tiny nonprofit had to scrape together legal fees for nearly 2 years to deal with this Peter Pan-like man-child. So, yeah, I mean, if he's dropping the case, I mean, could they like countersue and be like, hey, you got to pay for our legal fees? Let's see. He's not great at managing finances. He's great at partying. Yeah, I mean, that's completely true. He is definitely great at partying. If you ever want to throw a party and you're in California, definitely you gotta hit up Hunter Biden for sure. He's a man that knows how to party. He knows where to get the goods. So definitely invite him to whatever party you got going on. What other story? We could talk about Ukraine. There's some more information about Ukraine. Ukraine. There's always information to talk about in regards to the Ukraine. We have some statements from Marco Rubio yesterday on Ash Wednesday. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has described the ongoing conflict in Ukraine as a proxy war between the United States and Russia, criticizing the current approach of providing continuous aid without a clear strategy to end the conflict. That's completely true. His statements made during appearance on Fox News align with some Kremlin narratives, although they also highlight a lack of resolution plans from Ukraine and Europe. This view has sparked a discussion on sustainability of U.S. support and the need for a new diplomatic strategy to address the stalemate. I mean, yeah, that's all absolutely true. And then this is the top tweet in this thread, which is just funny. Devout Christian Marco Rubio prayed on Ash Wednesday and with a cross on his forehead declared that the U.S. is waging a proxy war against Russia in Ukraine. This must end. In other words, he blatantly echoed Russian propaganda. How is that Russian propaganda? Like, is anyone genuinely arguing besides this person that this is not a proxy war? I mean, what is the definition of a proxy war if not you're using another country or another foreign force to fight against an adversary in which you are directly supplying the materials for that war, whether it's financial aid or weapons and vehicles and all kinds of stuff. At what point do you call it a proxy war? How is it not a proxy war? How do you not view it as a proxy war? Even if you're in support of Ukraine, I don't see how you cannot say that this is the how can you say that this is not a proxy war, even if you're in support of Ukraine? Like, if I was in full support of Ukraine and just wanted them to, continue fighting this war, I would still be like, well, yeah, it is a proxy war of the United States, technically, because it is. That's like, that shouldn't even be controversial. That's just a fact. Uh, what do you mean you hope he doesn't run again? Dude can barely even walk. I doubt he can mentally run for anything. We have this from my future co-host. He'll be here on Saturday, Job today. But no, I mean, you're right. That's basically what I was saying. The dude could barely walk. His brain is mush. Like, he shouldn't run for anything. But I don't know. They like to weekend at Bernie's him, so maybe maybe we could see him again in the future. I just hope we don't. Um, there they go, trying to change and control the language again. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, what is a proxy war? If what is going on in Ukraine and Russia isn't a proxy war, then genuinely, I need some education. I know I was on Joey's Outworld Live the other day, and I don't know movies very well. If you didn't catch Joey's live stream, I don't know movies, and they were talking about sending me to a re-education camp. I guess I need more re-education beyond movie culture. I think I need to relearn what the hell proxy war is. I need to relearn what Nazi means. Like, there's all these words I just don't know what they mean anymore. Gender, all kinds of things. I need some re-education, guys. Help me out. Help me out. I need some re-education. Let's play this clip from Marco Rubio that this person's complaining about. Let's see what he said.
To it. It's been very clear from the beginning that President Trump views this as a protracted, stalemated conflict. And frankly, it's a proxy war between nuclear powers, the United States helping Ukraine and Russia. And it needs to come to an end. And no one has any idea or any plan to bring it to an end. The plan of the Ukrainians up to now and their allies, Capitol Hill, and the people you talk to in other countries is, let's just keep giving them as much as they need for as long as it takes. That's not a strategy to it. It's been very clear from the beginning that President Trump views this.
I mean, yeah, he's absolutely right. Does anyone actually know what the strategy is for the war in Ukraine? Obviously, besides trying to weaken Russia, like, that's the only narrative that I have ever heard from anybody talking about this. The only narrative I've ever heard is that, we're helping Ukraine because Ukraine is under attack by Russia, and Russia wants to conquer a bunch of stuff, and we're using them. Essentially, we're using them to weaken Russia. Like, that's the only narrative that I have heard regarding this war. So what is the ultimate goal? And then we also see a bunch of back and forth when it comes to like Europe saying that they're going to send in troops to go help Ukraine. So what is it that we're actually doing? Are we looking for peace, or are we looking for escalation? It's a lot of back and forth, and it doesn't really seem like anyone is definitive on what they're actually trying to do. Wait, why did he have a cross on his forehead? Ash Wednesday? Is it time for us to activate? I don't know what you mean by is it time for us to activate, but yes, yesterday was Ash Wednesday. So that if you watched Tim Pool's show too, which I'm sure a lot of the people in my chat do, Mary Morgan, I believe, had a little bit of ash on her forehead as well. I actually had to look up what that was for. I've never seen that before. I'm 24 and I've never noticed the Ash Wednesday. What do you call it? Celebration, or I don't even know what you would call it. But yeah, I didn't even know what Ash Wednesday was, so I actually had to look that up. Being completely honest, I don't think there is a goal because we're not officially in a war. They are trying to avoid setting any objective other than help out Ukraine. No, that's literally all I've seen. You're completely spot on with that. That is all I've seen. I pulled it up twice. You get pulled up twice. That's all I've seen. It's literally just help out Ukraine, weaken Russia, and then people keep saying like, we're destroying Russia. They're having to use old equipment, and it's like, yeah, we're sending Ukraine our old equipment. Russia's using their old equipment because they don't need to use the new stuff. They're doing just fine. They already took everything they want. Like the war is a stalemate because Russia wants it to be a stalemate at this point. Russia already took the land that they wanted. They don't care at this point. I mean, I'm sure Russia would love to see an end to the war, but ultimately they don't care because they know that Ukraine is losing people way quicker than Russia is. And Russia has a much larger population. If you just look at the numbers, people. Look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Uh, and I've brought this up a few times. Why are we at war? Why is Russia an adversary? Should Russia even be an adversary? Like, I don't see any plausible reason for Russia to be a legitimate adversary on the world stage. The more we aggress upon them, the more that they get pushed towards places like China. And if we end up going to a hot conflict with China, do we really want Russia aiding them? That just like, even if, let's say, we would just dominate China, which I'm not so sure of right now. As much as I love the United States and I love our military, I don't think it would just be like just a, I don't think it would be an easy war. I think we would win, but I think there would be a lot of hardship that follows that. But it would definitely be worse if Russia were to tag along with China. I would much rather have Russia on our side of things if war were to break out, or at least have them remain neutral because we're friendly with them. That would definitely be better in the grand scheme of things. And I've talked about this multiple times before now. Who aligns with the United States and our current culture? Who aligns with us more? The UK, Germany, Australia, or Russia? Russia is a lot more religious. Sure, Putin's a dictator, evil guy, bad guy, but I mean, who aligns with us more? I mean, you look at what's going on in Germany and the UK. They literally don't want people having free speech. You look at Canada, where you can get jail time or prison for simply misgendering someone. Like I just you look at all these people that we ally with, and I don't like a lot of our allies. So why is it that we're allied with all these other people that don't share our cultural values, but Russia is an adversary for what? Like, for what makes Russia an adversary? And then what's called but even besides that, you look at what's going on in Ukraine, and they're drafting people that are way older than you would think, like 50-year-olds. I think even some 60-year-olds. The average age of a Ukrainian soldier right now is 42, 43, something like that. And they've actually had to prevent 25 and younger from going to the front lines because so many people are being lost in this war. So it's not benefiting anyone. Like, the war needs to stop. The war's gone on too long, and Ukraine's not going to win. They're not going to get that territory back. And it's just, again, back to how this got brought up. How is this not a proxy war? How do you if it's not a proxy war? What do you call it? What would you call it if it's not a proxy war? What is that? What does this war identify as? Can someone tell me what this war identifies as? I'm pretty sure it identifies as a just war that will last for centuries to come. At least that's what Ukraine would like, because the moment that the war is over, Zelensky will be out of office and he won't be able to buy any more yachts. So, but with that, we're about halfway through the show. I would like everyone, if you haven't already, hit that like button, thumbs up, wherever you're watching. I got I got 10 Rumble viewers and two people on YouTube. Wherever you're at, hit that like button, comment. Whatever you got to do, hit that subscribe button, guys. I'm trying to get my subscribers up or followers up on Rumble. I finally have a custom URL link, so I'm pretty happy about that. But enough talking about me. We'll go ahead and go into this next story that has some controversy. So let me pull this up from Elon Musk. So this has been talked about here and there, but now Elon Musk has been making statements about it yesterday. So SpaceX rescue offer declined. Astronauts confirm. So this, I don't understand this right here, because we'll go into it in just a moment. But Grok is lying as far as what I have seen. And it says Grok can make mistakes, verify its outputs. So yeah, no, I think Grok is lying here, because it says astronauts confirm no political motive, but then you go and read some of the stuff here, and it says that like right here, News. Astronaut Butch Wilmore, who went to the ISS on the Boeing Starliner last year, has confirmed that Elon Musk offered to help bring NASA astronauts back home in 2024. He also stated that the return was delayed by the Biden administration for political reasons. So the reporting is that he confirmed it was for political reasons, and then Grok up here says confirm no political motive. So which is it? Can someone clarify for me? Did I miss something? Is it actually politically motivated, or did they clarify that it isn't? Because I haven't seen where they clarified that it wasn't. I've only seen this. Or it wasn't this post specifically. This is just the one I have in front of me. But we have this from Elon Musk. The astronauts were only supposed to be up there for 8 days, and now it has been 8 months. What an absolute embarrassment to NASA. NASA was supposed to send these people up for 8 days, and like, what was the failure here? Like, why have they been up there for 8 months? Does anyone know? That's another thing I should have pulled up. I am not as prepared as I should have been today. What was the reason that NASA couldn't go and get these people? And why is it that they have to seek out other entities like SpaceX to now go and recover their astronauts? That is incredibly embarrassing for a government agency to have to go to a private company to be like, hey, guys, can we like get a space taxi? Like that's just really sad. Let's see. What is the chat saying? Okay, I'm not reading that. You guys are talking about some other stuff in there. But let's see. Oh, you guys are talking about Ukraine. I missed that one from Rage Flowers. Okay. Reading some of the chat. The chat pops up in the top right, so anything I don't read, you guys can pause and read that. Or if you're in the chat, you could always. But this will be a video afterwards, so people watching the video, you can pause and read the chat as I'm talking. I can't repeat all of that on YouTube, but it's okay to have it commented on the screen. That's perfectly fine. But no, like what's the reason? Like this is absolutely embarrassing for a government agency to now have to rely on a third party like Elon Musk to go and recover their astronauts. That's so embarrassing. And then we have this clip that Libs of TikTok shared. Holy schlit. The astronaut who's stranded in space says it's true that Elon offered to rescue them earlier. Biden didn't accept for political purposes. Straight up evil. I don't know if it's evil, but
Our next question
definitely,
is from
again, definitely just embarrassing. Like even like what's the political reason? You just didn't want to give Elon Musk a win. You don't like Elon Musk, big bad guy who stole the election, according to Maxine Waters. If you don't know about that story, check out the live stream from yesterday. Maxine Waters claims that he Elon Musk used high. This is her wording. She used the word high technology, whatever that means. He used high technology or satellites to steal the election, which I have heard that from a few people on the left, and it's just hilarious. It reminds me of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I believe it was Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about Jewish space lasers or something like that. Like it just sounds utterly ridiculous and uninformed. But okay, let's play this clip. So they're getting asked questions. It was originally from Colin Rugg. Libs of TikTok stole the video, but that's how X goes. But let's play this clip.
Our next question is from Aaron Gregg with the Washington Post.
Hi everyone, thanks for doing this. So my question relates to Elon Musk has said that he made the offer to bring you guys back earlier and that it was denied. My first question is that true? And if so, what would that have looked like? Was he offering to make another flight, push seats on another flight? Could you give us some background there?
I can only say that Mr. Musk, what he says is absolutely factual. We have no information on that though whatsoever. What was offered, what was not offered, who it was offered to, how that processes went. That's information that we simply don't have. So I believe him. I don't know all those details, and I don't think any of us really can give you the answer that you would be hoping for.
Our next question is from Aaron Gregg.
So Grok is lying here then. So can't always believe Grok. Grok is a great information tool, but Grok is wrong in this thread. It says confirm no political. The astronauts did not confirm that there was no political motive. The only thing that they confirmed is that Elon Musk is telling the truth. So Elon Musk, I would be led to believe that Elon Musk is telling the truth in this situation. So the Biden administration, for political reasons, decided to not bring these astronauts home using SpaceX. And again, I would like to find out why the NASA can't do this. Like, why can't NASA get these people back? That is just such a, like, I don't know, would you call it a disgrace? It's definitely embarrassing on the United States, on the part of the United States. Like, literally, you're supposed, allegedly they got us to the moon, but now they can't even do that. They can't even bring people home from the space station after 8 friggin' months. They were supposed to be there 8 days. I'm assuming there had to have been some technical difficulties with whatever they have up there, but it's been 8 months now and NASA can't bring them back. That is disgraceful. That is just sad on the part of the United States, and that just goes to show the government is highly ineffective and inefficient. Can never trust the government. What's the chat saying? Everybody should be a communist in their heart. Nobody should be a communist in their politics. There you, you know, I agree with that. Let's we'll pull that one up. That's a good one. Let's see. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Okay, let's get that down out of here. Let's see. What other stories we have? There was a lot of talk about what's going on with the sanctuary cities. Now, in my opinion, sanctuary cities are unlawful. What do you guys think in the chat? Like, what should we do about sanctuary cities? I think we should cancel their sanctuary status, and they need to start complying with federal law, which is you cannot hold illegal migrants. You can't prevent them from being found by ICE and stuff like that, which looks like this took place on Ash Wednesday, because you can see a few people that have ash on their foreheads, like one of the mayors here that we'll see speaking. But we have this shared from Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think I didn't watch this particular clip yet. 2 minutes. Okay, let's see. That doesn't make sense. You're a sanctuary city. You actively don't, like. So what happens in a lot of these sanctuary cities is people get arrested that are there illegally, and then they just release them out onto the streets before ICE can even get there. It says it's just Tyler chilling. I like that. Yeah, I'm always chilling. I'm just chilling here, talking to myself. I'm pretty good at that sometimes, you know. But oh, I didn't. That's what you meant. I'm new to streaming. Okay. I didn't even pull this up, did I? There you go. I don't even know if you guys heard the clip. I'm just sitting there staring at it, listening to it. Great. Awesome. Thanks, guys. The clip didn't play, bro. Yeah, no, I just realized that. God damn. My bad. My bad. See, look, this is why I need a co-host, guys.
Under 8 USC 1324 makes it a crime to knowingly harbor and shield illegal aliens from detection, but your cities refuse to work with ICE detainers to help them find these criminals. I'll go one at a time. Mayor Adams, will you work with ICE in New York City, yes or no?
ICE is part of our criminal justice apparatus, and I will work with my city, state, and federal agencies to keep our cities safe, no matter who they are.
Mayor Johnson, will you work with ICE to protect your city?
We do work with ICE right now, Congresswoman. When they send us information about someone they would like access to, we send them notice when and where we will release them, and they can pick them up. We've done that 1,226 times. We will keep doing it.
Will you end sanctuary city policies?
We think the policies that we have right now allow us to work with ICE and to stop crime, and we'll keep doing that.
Mayor Johnson, will you work with ICE?
Our local law enforcement, Chicago Police Department. We work with federal agents on a variety of issues: drug trafficking, sex trafficking, getting guns off the street. And we will continue to work with federal
Will you
agents. to
stop
keep people safe.
harboring illegal aliens? Will you end sanctuary city policies?
So the city of Chicago, we do not harbor criminals. We do not harbor undocumented individuals. We comply with all laws.
Mayor Wu, will you work with ICE to protect Americans, legal Americans in your city, and end sanctuary policies?
The Boston Police work with ICE
Hello?
and federal agencies every single
Okay, there we
day
go.
on criminal matters
camera
and
got fucked
hold
up.
people who are committing crimes accountable.
Chairman, if I may, I'd like to enter for the record, according to the U.S. Constitution, giving aid and comfort to the enemies of the United States is an act of treason,
What's going on my
and
screen? What
and
the hell?
those that violate that should be
Without
be held
objection, so
accountable.
ordered.
Okay.
Federal law.
I mean,
under-
so I was letting that clip play just because I bumped my camera and it decided to unplug itself. This wire just does not like being bumped. But no, this is absolutely, I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene is spot on. They are going against federal law, and they need to start complying with federal law. I mean, you have places like where I live in California where the illegal immigrants, there's a specific illegal immigrant that has harassed people that I know personally, and he has not been deported. He's been here for over a decade, and these people effing lied. No, I completely. That's exactly it. These people effing lied, and they are lying because they know that they're going against federal law, and they just want these illegal immigrants to continue to be a part of their tax base. They want them to be able to vote. Here in California, we have a lot of illegals that vote because all you need is a driver's license, and they don't ask for citizenship when you go and get a license. And then what I was saying before was places in California, they literally they will arrest an illegal immigrant, let them out quite quickly, and then they won't notify ICE, or they won't put a hold when ICE requests it. So then these people get out, and then they're out free, and then ICE doesn't know where they went. So we need to clamp down on stuff like this. And it's utterly ridiculous that they've been able to get away with breaking federal law for so long, especially places like California. I don't know about these other states. I know more about California living here, but it's absolutely it's an egregious breach of federal law to allow these people to remain here knowingly, and you just don't care. Like, these politicians just don't care because it benefits them one way or another, whether it's in the I know people bring up the census in California. They count illegal immigrants, and there was a lot of controversy regarding Donald Trump when he said he wanted to add the question of citizenship to the census, because I think it's very important. I don't think non-citizens should be counted in the census because it affects the way that we count votes. It affects the way that people get representatives in the House and Congress. It affects a lot. So they literally answered without answering the question. That's wild. No, they answered without answering it. I mean, you saw Mayor Eric Adams of New York. He literally was like, "We'll work with all federal authorities to keep our city safe." Was his answer. He didn't directly say that yes, we would work with ICE. None of them said that yes, we would directly work with ICE. They just kind of answered around it. Which is typical of a politician. Of course, they don't like to answer things directly, but it is what it is, I suppose. And then I have one other story to get into, but I don't want to jump into it too quickly. I think there was more clips regarding this. Here we go. So Boston Mayor Wu to illegals: "You belong here. This is your home." Wake up call to Mayor Wu. No, they don't. And no, it's not. So let's play this clip. This sounds funny.
You belong here. This is your home. Boston es tu hogar. Boston, 这la calle. 这是你的家. This is our city. We are the safest major city in the nation because we are safe for everyone. You belong here.
Yeah, you look real safe when you don't count crime statistics or you don't charge people with crime. I think that's one of the funniest things that I've seen recently is people claiming that the like places like California, like, oh, crime's down. It's like, oh yeah, you know, crime technically crime goes down when you don't find the criminals, or you just decide to not go after the crimes that they've committed. Yeah, crime went down, sure. I mean, not really, but sure, yeah, totally. But no, this is not their home. They do not belong here, quite literally. And it's crazy to me to hear her say this. And also, why did she start speaking in a foreign language? Can we just have Donald Trump sign an executive order already saying that English is the language of the United States? Like, how? I mean, wait. Boston. Yeah, it was Boston. Rage Flowers, Boston is how is how she said it. But no, it like they don't quite literally, they don't belong here. And then let's see. This is a clip from Byron Donalds. I liked this clip. We'll play this one before I jump into the next story, and then that'll be the final story of the show. And then I'll talk a bit more before I go into that other story. But let me see if I could turn up the volume a little bit because he's a little quiet. So a bit of a longer clip. I'll probably pause throughout. Holy crap, is the video in bad quality? Can I video quality auto? No, okay, can I up it? No, the 360p is as high as this goes. Okay, well, just need audio really anyway. We don't even need to have this up. We'll just have it
Did
down.
your city spend on illegal immigration? Do you have a round number?
Oh God, it's not even moving.
Over the last couple of years on all newcomers, whatever their status was, it's around 79 million since 2022.
79 million. Mayor Johnson, Chicago. How much has the city of Chicago spent on illegal immigration?
If you're referring to the 2022 up to 2024 of the buses coming from Texas, roughly the same percentage of the state of Texas, about 1% of our overall budget.
What is that? Because I don't have the city's budget in front of me. Numbers.
It's 1%, and if you want the actual calculation, we can make sure someone.
You're the mayor.
So that is such a slimy way to get around that question, because like when a voter hears that, all they hear is, oh, 1%. That's not a lot, but like, okay, 1% of your overall budget, that could be like, what if your budget's 100 million, and then it's like, oh, it's only 1%. And it's like, oh, so what, $1 million? Or because it's going to be a lot more than 100 million for the majority of these places. What if the budget's $1 billion? So then we're only spending like $1 billion or 10 billion, 100 billion, or 100 million, 10 million, 100 million on these illegals. And it's like, okay, well, what's the hard number? What's the actual amount that you're paying to house illegals or to deal with illegals? I would love to know what's the answer to the question. Like 1%. It's only 1% of our budget. Okay, well, what is 1% of your budget? You slimy politician.
Mayor, you don't have the math in front of you.
It's 1% of the overall budget over the last 4 years.
That's why you're a failing
which
mayor.
is
Mayor
the same
Adams.
number that.
Damn. And that's why you're a failing mayor. Damn. At least the first guy actually was able to answer. He said $72 million. That's ridiculous. I can only imagine how much of my tax dollars in California are going to illegals. I probably don't want to know. We waste enough money here in California. But man, to not even be able to answer it, which I feel like that's just a load of crap. He probably does know the number. He just doesn't want to say it in front of Congress.
How much did the city of New York actually spend on illegal immigration? Mayor Johnson, I already asked you, you don't have a hard number. And if you don't have a hard number, you're not running your city well. Mayor Adams, how much did the city of New York actually spend on illegal immigration?
6.9 billion of taxpayers' dollars.
Damn. That's New York, Eric Adams, $6.9 billion just for illegals. I'm assuming that's for housing, feeding. Dude, all of that money could have gone to veterans. Like all of that money could have gone to homeless Americans, just or infrastructure, fixing the roads. Like 6.9 billion. That's not a small number. That's crazy. Byron is a Chad. Yes, the more I find out about Byron Donalds, the absolute legendary politician. He's one of the good ones. From what I've seen, I could be wrong, could change. But no, he's going hard on these people right now. But 6.9 billion, like, I didn't think it'd be that much. I saw this clip earlier, and I had the same reaction. Like, that's an insane amount.
$0.9 billion of taxpayer money on a problem that was fostered on the American people. Mayor Wu, in the city of Boston, how much did you spend?
We don't ask about immigration status and delivering city
You don't
services,
ask
so
about
we
how
don't
much
have
money
that
the city
number.
of Boston has spent on illegal immigration.
We
Are you
don't
out of your
distinguish
mind?
between immigration status.
Do you
as
manage
part
your
of our
budget
city
or not,
policies.
Mayor
That
Wu?
is how we keep our
Mayor
city
Wu,
safe.
do you
and
manage
we
your
have
budget
the
or not?
numbers to prove it.
That's crazy. That you so how can you answer the question that we will work with ICE and then sit there and say, well, we don't ask what their immigration status is? How can you cooperate with ICE if you don't know the immigration status of the people that are in your city? That's insane. I'd trust a raccoon lobotomy before anything involved in any way with government. Yeah, no, I go back to the story with SpaceX. That NASA can't even get their own astronauts home, and they have to reach out to SpaceX, and then the Biden administration won't even approve it for political reasons. So yeah, no, never trust the government. Never trust the freaking government. But she's outright saying like, "Oh, we just don't know the immigration status of people. We don't keep track of that." If I lived in Boston, I'd be incredibly pissed. That's insane. Looks like we got a celebrity in the chat. He says, "Hola, sir." Got that from the YouTubes. Go check out the Quiet Part Pod. They'll be on in about 2 hours. 2 hours from when my show ends. But of course, go check out Outworld Live on Rumble before then. They'll be live about 30 minutes after me. But let's go ahead and get through the rest of this clip because I do have one more story I want to get into and rant about.
I manage my budget. I have a AAA bond rating dating back 10 years.
So to the city of Boston,
budget.
just understand that your mayor does not care how much of your resources she has spent on people who are not citizens
The city of Boston is sick of having people outside Boston telling us what
Mr.
we
Bear, I
need.
have a question for you because I understand.
The people of Boston are sick and tired of hearing people outside of Boston telling them how to run the city. Like, okay, well, just stop breaking federal law and then that wouldn't happen. You can stick to your own little bubble, but you're breaking federal law. That's like the whole point of you guys being there is the sanctuary cities are against federal law.
Cato's perspective when it comes to illegal immigration. I understand that the Cato Institute for a long time has had a standard of actually having open immigration into the United States. Generally speaking, I don't want to get into specifics.
We support legal immigration. We want immigration to be legal.
Let me ask you this question, because one of the great libertarians of the modern era, Milton Friedman, famously said, you can either have open borders or a welfare state, but you have to choose. Mr. Beer, what do you choose?
Milton Friedman said he wanted to allow illegal immigration to continue. I disagree with Milton Friedman's position on that. We should have legal immigration and build a wall around the welfare state, not around the country. That's in the best interest of taxpayers.
And I would argue that under the current system where you have sanctuary cities popping up, it is not possible to build that wall. So America has to choose. Mr. Beer, you're done. America has to choose between securing our nation or protecting the taxpayer. I choose secure the nation. I yield back.
Gentlemen.
Absolutely great back and forth from Byron Donalds. Just great. I agree with everything he had to say. If you live in one of these cities that don't know how much they're spending on illegal immigrants, I don't really know what you can do. I mean, as a Californian myself, there's not a whole lot I can do other than rant to you guys here on the internet. But that's insane. You should know as a politician how much you're spending on any given project or anything. Like illegals specifically shouldn't be getting any money besides being deported, in my opinion. The only budget for illegals should be the deportation budget, but that's not the world we live in. And then I did want to talk about this in my podcast yesterday, but we didn't get to it. If you missed that, that was with Back in Blanco, who just said hello to the Quiet Part Pod in the chat. Back in Blanco, him and I had a great conversation yesterday. So good, in fact, that I actually went $15 or $15. I went 15 minutes over the allotted time. I don't know how often that'll happen. Next week, I'm going to try streaming at 1:30, see if that time's a little bit better. That way I could send you guys over to the Outworld Live afterwards. Looks like we got Sanoski. Like, comment, and subscribe to Tyler Today News, and Joey will blow all of the goats. So we got, thank you so much for that, Sanoski. That's a different name than you have on Discord, sir. I don't even know how to say that. Swinoski. Thank you very much, sir. Always appreciated. That was a $5 Rumble rant from him. And then I'm not allowed to talk about the budget. I want to deal with illegal immigration. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, I'm not allowed to talk about the budget. I want to deal with illegal immigration. Yeah, no, that's that. I don't know how both of those can exist. Like, but anyway, to the next story. Like I was saying, I wanted to talk about it yesterday, but we got swept up in some other conversations, which is perfectly fine. Highly recommend you go check that out from yesterday when you have the time, maybe over the weekend. But I did want to talk about this because this hits home for me just a little bit. We have this story talking about Trump honors teen cancer survivor as Secret Service agent. President Donald Trump recognized 13-year-old DJ Daniel, a cancer survivor from Pearland, Texas, by officially naming him an honorary agent of the United States Secret Service. During his speech to Congress, DJ, who has been battling brain cancer since 2018, was present at the event, receiving a standing ovation. Although some reports highlighted a lack of standing or clapping from certain politicians, it means Democrats. Grok is just trying to not be biased. Democrats didn't stand and clap for this individual. The only thing Democrats stood and clapped for was, of course, funding to Ukraine. Literally the only thing they clapped for. They wouldn't stand and clap for this 13-year-old who survived brain cancer, which I'm pretty sure he's still struggling with health issues regarding that, which is incredibly sad. But what's even more sad is that Democrats can't even stand and clap for this individual. And now they're politicizing it. They're politicizing what happened to this kid, and they're trying to say that Donald Trump politicized it first. But what's wrong with Donald Trump? Not even him politicizing it. He didn't politicize it. He was literally just honoring the kid. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with him honoring this kid? Can anyone explain that to me? And then I had some other clips. Let's see. So these are the clips I wanted to show. This is an interview. Dang, I only got might go a little over today because I did want to rant about this a little bit. So let's play this clip from DJ Daniel.
But you wanna know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together, and out of nowhere I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said stop playing with me, and I start and then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "Nah, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
So that's an I didn't want to watch that. I wanted to watch that live on stream. That's actually a lot more sad than I thought it would be. And then we have other clips like this. This is the whole reason that Donald Trump wanted to honor him, is because he was being made fun of in videos like this.
Oh, baby, you can't arrest me. You too cocky.
It's not playing properly, but they're like making fun of this little kid just because he wants to dress like a police officer and just outright harassing him. So you have videos like this that, is how he got national attention. I mean, he's a survivor of brain cancer. Now, I don't know if the cancer is completely gone, if they were able to completely remove it. I sincerely hope it has been, but he's going to have issues going on in life. I mean, there's no way you're going to be just completely fine after getting that many surgeries on your brain. But the whole reason Donald Trump wanted to honor him is because there were people in this country that thought it to be appropriate to make fun of him for having a dream of being a police officer. Like the kid was given there we go. The kid was given 5 months to live. So we had 230 agencies across the nation decide to honor him by making him an honorary police officer. And I think it's great. I love to see it. I wish there was more like it, but Donald Trump didn't politicize this. There should be no politics involved in this. This should just be a feel-good story about how a kid overcame all odds, and he's now getting honored by multiple governments or multiple government agencies. And Donald Trump, to have him there at his speech and honor him like that, I thought it was great. There shouldn't be no politics involved, and it's absolutely disgusting that Democrats couldn't even stand and clap for this young man.
New Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Awesome. Absolutely. I just love it. I love to see it. And they're chanting his name. So Democrats, I believe there was only one Democrat that actually stood and clapped for this young man. Absolute disgrace on Democrats' parts. Like, I know they're heartless human beings, but it's incredibly disgusting.
There's one more thing I got for you. Because okay, good.
Like, how this shouldn't be political. None of how is any of this political? There should be no politics involved with this. The only reason it's political is because people hate Donald Trump, and they can't even. Donald Trump said it in his speech. He could literally cure cancer, and they still wouldn't stand and clap for him. It's disgusting. There's a lot more I want to say, but I can't say it.
Secret Service Director
I
Sean
can't say it because of YouTube. But I came very close to cussing a cussing rant there. Maybe I'll cuss in this clip because this is I almost did. This is disgusting. This is a disgusting clip by Nicole Walz. Wait, I'm not even playing it. I did it again. Hang on. It's in a different window. Hold up. Got ahead of myself. Hang on. Okay. Switch windows. Just getting a little bit ahead of myself. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So the clip from Nicole Walz. This is just disgusting. This is they want to complain about Donald Trump politicizing this kid. The only people politicizing it are Democrats.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope.
And that's where her statement should have ended. That's where her statement should have ended. But no.
He has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has.
How the fuck is that relevant? How is that relevant in any way? The people that committed suicide following January 6th had literally nothing, not a single goddamn thing to do with that day. And here she is saying that she hopes that he doesn't kill himself because of being a Capitol Police officer. Fucking disgusting. This person should be removed from the internet. This is heinous. No one should ever take her seriously.
One of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then lived to see Donald Trump pardon those people. But I think this was a lesson.
Absolute fucking disgusting comments. There was other people that made comments similar to this, like Rachel Maddow. I don't have her clip pulled up. This was the most egregious one. These people are utterly disgusting. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care what's going on in the world. All they want to do is take digs at Trump. That's all they want to do. They just want to take digs at Donald Trump. Where did my camera even go? I don't even know. You guys can't even see how fucking angry I am. Where did my camera go? What the fuck? Okay, well, that's fine. We don't need my camera. This isn't about me anyway at this point. This is disgusting. This is incredibly disgusting. And I'm not exactly surprised by this. But even then, like, I don't know where you get off by making comments like this. Let me stop screen sharing, and then let me go ahead and go to the final thing I wanted to talk about. And so we have this from First Post, and it's just a summary of who DJ Daniels is. I wanted to end on that. I did not want to end on Nicole Walz, who is a disgusting human being. I did not want to end with her. For some reason, my camera has decided to stop working. I will figure that out after the live stream, but that's okay. So DJ Daniels is a 13-year-old from Texas who was diagnosed with rare cancer in 2018. He was on Capitol Hill yesterday, which wasn't yesterday now. That was on Tuesday, I believe. As DJ, who was seen wearing the Houston Police Department uniform, sat in the gallery, Trump revealed that despite all obstacles, the teenager persisted in his dream of becoming a police officer. The doctors gave him 5 months to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true. Tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent in the United States Secret Service. As the House Judiciary chanted, his father, overtaken with passion, raised him into the air, saying, DJ, DJ. Then, as the applause continued, Secret Service Director Curran came up to the young kid and gave him an official badge. This young man is ecstatic to be here. Lawmakers and guests applauded. More than a dozen Democrats stood up to celebrate DJ with the Republican in a rare show of solidarity. So it says that a dozen Democrats stood up, but not nearly all of them did. And I don't even know if that's true. I don't even know if a dozen Democrats did, but it should be every single one. It should have been everyone in that room standing and clapping for this kid. Currently, DJ is trying to get sworn in as into as many police enforcement departments as he can. The teenager was sworn in an honorary officer of the Rice University Police Department in February 22. He was given a key to the city and made an honorary Jasper police officer in December 2024. As per press release from Rice University, DJ's main goals are to raise awareness about childhood cancer and to commemorate the life of Abigail Arias, a 7-year-old girl who was sworn in as an honorary officer in the Freeport Police Department before she passed away from lung cancer in 2019. Despite DJ's initial goal of being sworn in by 100 law enforcement agencies, he became an honorary member of 238 agencies by 2022 as his narrative gained more public support. So I hope this kid goes on to live a long, healthy life, as much as he can anyway. And again, if you don't hate Democrats, this should absolutely make you hate them. Everyone in that room should have stood. Every single person. I'm not really sure, again, why my camera has decided to stop working. I'm going to figure that out. It must not be plugged in properly or something. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. That's all I have for you guys. And again, thank you for tuning in. Follow me for more, and peace out.